Things needed: tape, scissors, tailoring chalk, fabric, dressmaking pin and ruler. Fold the fabric on 2 equal parts. Then fold again in a slanted form. Make sure the down part is straight with your ruler. And take your full length measurement starting from the down part to where you want to stop. My full length measurement is 25 and I'm adding 1 inch allowance, making it 26. You take it on the 2 edge to make sure it's straight and then mark it. Straighten it with your ruler. My shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2, which is 8. You divide it into 2. In order to get my armhole, you divide your my armhole is 9 plus 1 inch, 10. The 1 inch will be removed at the upper part. I'm going to show you how. So you mark the 10 inch. You take your half length. My half length is 16. Determine where your half length is. Your half length is 2 inches above your navel. You mark your waistline. I'll be taking the hip. The bust line will be from where my armhole stopped. Then I want to take my neckline. My neckline is 4 by 4. The wideness is 4. The neck deep is 4 as well. And you mark it this way. Square it 4 by 4. Then at the angle, go in 1 inch deep before the curving. Curve it very well, just like that. Then, so slant the leg line towards the armhole. So you're going to take it to the neckline. The way I'm doing, you mark 1 inch downward from your armhole. That was the 1 inch we added initially, making it 10. We are removing it from the neckline now. Adding it, slant it towards your neckline. It helps the shoulder lapse very well. The shoulder will not be puffy by the time you sew it. Don't cut on the straight line, cut from the slant line. So go in 1 inch from the angle, the way we did for the neck, and then curve it towards your armhole curve it towards the armhole to your bust line, just like this. Then take my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 42, so I'm taking 10.5 because I divide it into 4. Then add 2 inch allowance, 10.5, 2 inch allowance. My bust is 42, and you divide it into 4 is 12.5. Then you add 2 inch sewing allowance. Then take your waist also. My waist is 38, divided into 2 is 9.5. And then I'm going to add 2 inch allowance, just like the way I did for the bust. Then the down part, I'm going to take 12. 12 inches is my upper waist. My upper hip measurement is 12 plus 2 inch allowance is 48 divided by 4 is 12. Then you add 2 inch sewing allowance. So your upper hip is above your hip where your blouse or your top used to sit. That is where your upper hip is if you're taking your measurement. Then mark towards all the seam allowance. Don't mark on the major measurement. Mark on the seam allowance the way I'm doing it right now. Make sure it's not slanting, it's well curved. So from your paper, come up with 2 inches. We don't want it to have sharp edge there. And then come in with 5 inches and connect it to the point. We don't want it to have sharp edge by the side. We want it to be curvy and sit very well on your lap or your hip. So you cut not straight, cut from the slanted part. Just like this, follow the slanted shoulder. So you curve here, look at that line, you cut it out and then curve in. Yeah, so this is the top. You are cutting the back, the neckline. Are you using the neck? Cut out your neckline. Cutting the neck right now. So, yeah, we are done cutting. Both the front and the back are having the same neckline. This is beginner friendly, very easy to make. So this is the 2 parts now, the front and the back part. Now this is the both parts. We are going to be cutting out the front. A slit will be at the front part as you see on the picture. So I'm going 4-inch deep. You can use whatever deep you want. I want to use 4-inch, and then you open it with the scissors. Careful so that you not cross the chalk line. Just like this. Then you open it. Here is what it looks like. It's already slanted open. Now we are going to be cutting a facing for it. This is the front and the back already. We need a facing to give it a perfect finishing. We need to cut facing for it because we are not putting lining. So I folded the back, unfold, make sure the facing is doubled, just like the way you're seeing on the video. That is unfold. You place your back piece on the facing peaks, just like the way I've seen it. Pin it down with dressmaking pin. Pin it down equally, making sure it does not shift. Yeah. And cut out the neck. So from the facing, I'm taking 2.5-inch round. You can take more or less. I'm taking 2.5. You measure it round just like the way you're seeing it, making sure they are equal. Cut. Then you fold the facing for the front, just the same way you did for the back. That is what you did, but the front will be a little bit longer than the back because of the slit we have. So you make sure that the facing piece for the front is longer than the back, just like the way I'm doing in the video. make sure it's longer. It won't be 2.5 entirely. It should be like 6.5 or 7 depending on the measurement you're using for that front. You pin down and cut. So unpin, mark where that slit is because the facing will have slit as well. You mark it, remove the dressmaking pins, and then open up. You're going to open that place up just like the way you did on the main blouse. So from that point of the chalk, you measure your 2.5 inch. From the point of the chalk, you measure your 2.5 inch to that angle, and then the neck part will be 2.5. You are not adding any excess on the neck part. It's the same thing with the back. 2.5, you curve it all the way through down, just like the way I'm doing in the video. Curve it down. The front part is 6.5 in total, while the shoulder is 2.5. Then slit open that front part, just like the way you did for the front, carefully. So here's your front piece, the way it looks like, and that's the facing. It's the same thing as you can see. You pin them together.